Welcome Intérieur UK. I'm Hamish Brown, one of the partners at 1508 London. Welcome to our project, one of the penthouses in this prestigious Nine Elms development with amazing views across London. So the inspiration behind this particular apartment was always, like all of our projects at 1508, stems from sort of really trying to understand the client, where the building is, the location, and trying to create something that's perfect for them. This particular family wanted a space where they could entertain with friends, be with their family, and kind of watch their children as they grow up. We tried to create a space which was multifunctional, so really kind of harnessing the views, which are incredible, that look across the River Thames, but also then trying to create a space that could separate between the more formal dining space and the more informal sitting area, with these really stunning glass doors which pivot closed, and you can open and close them. So really you're getting an opportunity to look at the view, experience the space, but also then shut it down if you want to. So some of the choices we made and how we kind of pulled the scheme together was really about kind of understanding how we can harness the outside space, and there's so much going on with these views across London. So I was really trying to create a really tonal, muted palette inside, where we've got really quite low-level sofas, again, just making sure that you're maximising your views out across London at every possible moment. Playing with some of those neutral tones, we had to kind of decide where we kind of picked those particular tones from. Taking some of the kind of hues from London, sometimes it's not always as bright and as fresh as we'd like it to be. So we tried to kind of bring some of that slight freshness through some of these amazing bespoke rugs, just kind of subtle pinks, subtle taupes, just being able to also play with the levels on those rugs. Over here we've got this incredible cast bronze piece, just got amazing textures in it. Again, just trying to make sure that the light hits everything with a slightly different way. Sometimes the light sinks into the material, sometimes it reflects it back. And then some of the objects, which went completely organic. We worked with these incredible charities from around the world, which help kind of different causes in different parts of the world. This is a particular piece which we loved, which is by a family who are helping support some amazing causes in different parts of the world at the moment. This cluster of 4 tables was originally, and by Marbella Studios, was originally designed as a set of 2, but in order to make sure the space felt that it was adequately set out, and we asked them to create a custom bespoke piece of 4 clusters, all at slightly different heights, just to create the differential. And again, it's kind of making sure that the light plays off each different surface. So the exterior of these are this kind of really beautiful travertine marble, and then with this amazing polish finish in the middle, which again just reflects the light back. This is a bespoke piece by our studio. Really, ultimately it's about kind of separating the 2 spaces, and you can see how this beautifully kind of pivots down and then snaps into place. As we come through into the dining space, this really is about where the family entertains. They want to be able to all sit together and have amazing family memories and family moments. Some of the key pieces here, I think when we try to go about this kind of soft minimalism, as we call it, which is about beautiful lines but kind of with curved edges, it's also about making sure that that doesn't feel too stark and too sterile. So we try and introduce some really kind of beautiful, organic and more natural shapes and forms. So this is by Cox London, this amazing light which really plays off that almost perfectly imperfect type approach. The dining table itself I think is stunning. With this as a kind of amazing travertine base, it's so solid and feels so set there, and then with this really lovely beautiful oak inset which has got a really nice level to it, and that just kind of reflects against the bronze from the existing building. So with the dining chairs, we wanted to play off that kind of soft minimalism, which is about the clean lines and the elegant shapes, but then using kind of quite natural materials. So here we've just got this really beautiful timber where you can see the grain, and then again using these really muted natural fabrics with lots and lots of texture. The spun legs, so everything seems very simple, but it's kind of very, very elegantly put together. You can see here the flooring continues all the way through this kind of slightly kind of stained oak, so it goes from a chevron pattern to a straight plank lay. The kitchen itself, this is the kind of front of house family kitchen, so there is a back of house kitchen where the staff and the chefs will be able to kind of prepare meals for the family, but this is a space where they can bake cakes with kids or make a coffee, etc. There's an amazing studio run by Abby and Hannah in Nottinghamshire called Every Story, and they make these incredible handmade ceramic plateware which we've used, which is just really wonderful to utilise and support artisans like that from around the UK. This is the principal suite, so this is one of the most important rooms in the house. I mean, this is where the principal, the owners of the property, will come back and retreat and have the most amazing night's sleep, hopefully. So really, it's our job is to help really enhance that. We've kind of taken the same theme throughout the whole apartment, which is this kind of really kind of muted, soft minimalism. So using these kind of really pure lines, but then with curved edges. So this is the kind of seating area within the principal suite. One of the things that's really important with sleeping is the acoustic quality. So some of the things we try to use is more softer materials to help absorb the sound. We've used this beautiful rug detail on the wall, which kind of sits and just hangs down and creates not only amazing acoustic qualities, but also just that really kind of beautiful textures. So using different weaves and different woves of wool, which creates a beautiful backdrop for a bedroom space. So it's very hard often to place a bed in front of a window, which is what we've done here. But I think in some instances, you can create a really kind of beautiful detail. So we've kind of used this really soft taboo veneer, which has got a really nice playful texture to it. But again, it's really muted and very light. When creating a space which is very tonal, you want to be able to also have a little bit of contrast to make sure that things are accentuated and not everything looks too flat. So these bedside sconces use this kind of really lovely cracked gesso, which is quite the neutral tone, and then the bronze underneath just to help create that. Some of the objects, again, just organic, natural forms, all just supporting that notion that to sleep you need something calm, something that helps enhance that feeling of relaxation. So there's two particular materials that repeat quite a lot throughout this apartment. One is the travertine, which I've talked about before. One is this pippy oak, which is this really beautiful, very exciting timber, but it's got a very natural tone to it. This is a bespoke piece by Design Archivist. Yeah, we've got a few desks that appear throughout this apartment, but this pippy oak is a really stunning material. So this is the snug or the cinema room. So this is all about being able to relax and come and just have time away from the busyness of life. So the way we tried to design this was about using a slightly kind of darker tone on the walls. There's a subtle green which comes through just to help bring the space in, make you feel a bit more like it's a cozy, kind of more cocoon space. The joinery is this beautiful taboo veneer which kind of picks up on the light. This is one of the only rooms we've actually used a carpet for two reasons. One is the acoustic quality is excellent to be able to make sure that the sound is better in here for watching movies, but also just it makes you feel a lot more cozy and a lot more relaxed in the space. So in order to be able to really make sure that we're creating that kind of cozy feel, we wanted to bring some furniture in and some objects in which kind of enhance that whole feeling. The sofa is this really beautiful low-level sofa. It's almost like a bed. Which just helps enhance the ability to be able to watch TV, relax, sleep. And then obviously the really heavily textured materials which we've used in other parts of the apartment. But in this instance, they've almost been overly exaggerated. Again, just kind of helping enhance that feeling of warmth and of comfort in this space. This particular chair is slightly oversized for comfort reasons, and picking out some of these timbers as well, which I did in the previous spaces. With powder rooms, any designer will tell you this is an opportunity to really enhance the design. So what we often do is take the themes that we've created throughout the rest of the apartment and then just put them on steroids. So it's really about just kind of maximizing everything we've done here. So where we used some subtle greens before, we've now really heightened them up a little bit. Some of the marbles here, we've over-exaggerated with really strong veining to create a real feel of excitement. We just feel that some powder rooms sometimes is an opportunity to do something a bit more enhanced than perhaps you'd find in other parts of the apartment. And principally the reason behind that is because a powder room is something you don't really use very often. So this is the upstairs apartment or the grandparents' apartment. So welcome. There's a design shift here where we've used darker materials. It's a bit more eclectic, a slightly older style, but something that's very much more homely and is able to kind of appeal to the grandparents. So one of the challenges is always trying to make sure people feel like they've adequately got spaces that they can enjoy. I think in this area, this is for the grandparents, and so although we wanted to make sure that there was a continuation of the design throughout the apartment, but they wanted to be able to make sure that there were areas that they felt that were more represented their style. We've introduced some much darker tones, some more earthy tones, so still taking that kind of more natural essence that we had before, but just pushing some of the colour tones. The bespoke rugs again, and then using kind of slightly more eclectic type of material type. So instead of everything being quite modernism all the way through, it's using some slightly more traditional forms and traditional shapes in some of the sofas and the chairs and some of the accessories we've used as well. Like with all private client projects, you often get asked to do things which are very interesting. And in this particular instance, this client really wanted to put a pool within their apartment. We're in the penthouse of a property in Nine Elms. And to have your own pool, I think, is an incredibly interesting and cool thing to have. So we help facilitate that for them. We start all of our projects in terms of inspiration from really understanding who the client is and what their needs are, what their use is from that particular apartment. And then I think the second most important thing is the location where the apartment is. I think we often kind of use the analogy, if you were buying a pad in New York, it would probably look slightly different than if you were buying a home in Bahamas. So kind of it's all about trying to understand what the use of that particular client is with that particular location. And then really trying to understand how we can utilize the world around us. So in London, we try to use local artisans, local materials, local practices to try and bring that into the building. And again, with every single location we design within, it's all about really trying to make sure that we research and understand where that particular building is located and what the use is. A tip for design, goodness, there's so many different places and places you could start with this. I think a tip could be that using the skin of the building or the walls and the kind of fixed elements within your property could be slightly more neutral. And then if you want to play with colour and you want to play with texture, then maybe that can come into some of the accessories and the furniture and those types of elements. And therefore, whenever you change your mind or whenever you want to try something new, you can easily do that by keeping the kind of traditional elements or the skin of the building as it is. You can find us in almost every corner of the earth at the moment. We have 9 offices around the world. Principally, our head office is London, based in Victoria. And if you want to follow us on Instagram, we're at 1508 London.